What's up? I'm number 26 here to give you a video that's 2 months in the making, about, if not a little bit longer actually. Um, it's going to be on the Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins feud from FCW this past fall, and basically my interpretation of it and why I think this feud actually has restored a lot of faith in WWE and myself, long term, not necessarily short term, because, yes, there's talk of both of them being called up to the main roster, but, just like any new talent, they're not going to be done incredibly with immediately unless your name is Brock Lesnar. But before we go into the meat of this video, I just want to say that I'm going to be at the Ring of Honor TV taping this Saturday. I'll actually be first row, so you probably should see me a lot on the first on the 4 weeks of Baltimore TV. Probably will have a lot of me on it. The card isn't all that great, but I think this is actually going to be a very, very heavily storyline influenced show, with my probably leading to a Steen versus Davey match, hopefully in Miami. So even though I'm not going to be at WrestleMania weekend anymore, I do think that's the best move, but that's a whole different video. But let's just get on with this one. So if you see me, come up to me and don't hesitate. So there's that. Dean Ambrose, who also is known otherwise as John Moxley, in CZW and all over the indie circuit, and then Seth Rollins, who is otherwise known as Tyler Black, former Ring of Honor World and Tag Champion, as well as a former PWG Tag Champion and FIP World Champion, but along many other accolades for him. A lot of indie fans, including myself, viewed this as kind of an indie dream feud that we never got to see on the indies. And both of them got signed to WWE contracts within a year of each other. Tyler was back in September of September of 10, and then Moxley was April of 11. Moxley comes right in as Dean Ambrose and challenges Tyler Black, or I guess at this point Seth Rollins, right away. And it was just so cool to see because, for the first time, there was kind of a buzz about FCW. When people are brought in, like the Bryan Danielsons, who's actually now a world champion, Daniel Bryan of the world, most recently with Antonio Cesaro, who was Claudio Castagnoli in the Indies. There's a buzz brought in with big time indie wrestlers being brought into WWE. How are they going to do? Because 9 times out of 10 they are the most talented person coming into FCW at the time. Black and Moxley, or Rollins and Ambrose, were, from what I saw, the 2 most talented guys in FCW. And then Cesaro comes in, and both of them kind of are on the road now. So Cesaro's the MVP of FCW, if you will. I don't find that a coincidence at all. They have been trained on the indies. If you want guys to succeed in your company, you really do have to have them be world and well trained. You have guys like Steamboat's son. I can't forget, Richie Steamboat, maybe is his first name. But they aren't. I've seen some of his stuff. He's good, but he's not fantastic. If you use more, I guess I'm not saying that they should steal the big independent talent, but I'm saying that's probably the best way for you to get exactly what WWE wants out of a developmental system, and that's guys that can come right in and know their stuff, not like the whole models and guys like, I'm trying to think, Titus O'Neil might be a good example. I'm trying to think of a guy that kind of came out of nowhere and sucked in the WWE, and there's no reason to bring him up. I mean, there's several examples, but like I guess maybe Kali. There's a couple definitely examples of that, but there hasn't. I don't think with the track record, there has never been a guy that's come in from companies like Ring of Honor and companies like PWG who has really sucked in the WWE. He's done well. I mean, probably the guy who was given the least chance in Colt Cabana or Scotty Goldman. I'm pretty sure most WWE fans can't even name who Scotty Goldman is. That's pretty sad, actually, because he is very, very talented and one of the best in the world at what he does. That Order Wrestling podcast is phenomenal. But so just stuff like that. But the reason I bring this feud up in particular is because the first 2 matches were both very good, and I just wanted to see those 2 face. So, I wasn't too keen on either match. If you want to talk star ratings, which isn't important in this video at all, they were both 3 1/4, 3.5, 3 3/4, somewhere around there. However, I saw Tyler Black post on Twitter, or Seth Rollins, whatever you want to call him, that the third match blows the first 2 out of the water combined. And I'm like, wait. And Tyler Black is a person that I, isn't, a match reviewer, but, in terms of judging yourself, you usually are good when you're at that level. Shawn Michaels calling his best match of all time, the Hell in a Cell with Taker. In terms of work rate, that probably is his best match of all time. So just in that sense, I was like, okay, I'm really expecting a lot now. And then they go out. I guess the equivalent of the belt, because Tyler Black, I keep calling him Tyler Black for the WWE, I'm trying to get into this. You know what I'm talking about. Seth Rollins, who is the FCW 15 champion at the time, basically the equivalent of the second-tier title in their company. Tyler Black holds it in every match that he defends his title, or medal in this case, is a 50-minute time limit Iron Man match, as many falls as possible. The first two neither get a fall in either match throughout the 30 minutes of both. So the third match goes into a 20-minute time limit. Both get, and I'm not trying to reveal this, but basically, just this match, in ring, it had so much great stuff with it. Just they brought the hate in a match that didn't have any weapons. This match meant something, and they communicated that through the ring. Moxley or Ambrose is one of the absolute best at storytelling, and he does it in a different way that I have seen in a long time. I wonder how much of, with Regal on commentary, I wonder how much of that is actually like stuff that's fed to him, and how much Regal actually believes, because Regal is marking out over everything that Ambrose does, and I am too. Black, who happens to be one of the most athletic performers I've seen in a while. Their styles really mesh well. Because when both of them can pull off a match like this is insane. They both are, two premier performers, and when I saw them that they had this match, it was incredible. Basically, if you thought of this could have happened in Ring of Honor and gotten the same in any indie company and been phenomenal. The company that this happened in doesn't really matter. However, it means a little bit more because it was FCW. A match, this is by far the best match in FCW history. I've never heard any match have this much buzz about it because of it. You heard some of the Danielson-Caval matches, but those matches weren't nowhere near as good as this. This match, it's fifth on my match of the countdown. I give it 4 3/4 stars, whatever. But basically, in terms of storytelling, in-ring action, and just selling a storyline, I don't think there is a better match, maybe outside of Punk and Cena and the ladder match from WSU, a better match this year. And just because if you see what those two matches that I mentioned, how good I think this match is. The last time I made a video on a single match by itself was the ladder match from WSU. That was back in March or so. So, you see how rare I do these videos is. But the impact this can have on the WWE is huge, because this means that a lot of the problems in their company, building new stars, getting exciting storylines, outside of, yes, the champions they have right now are a strong set of champions. However, it's not going to last forever. I don't expect Punk to hold the belt incredibly long. Danielson, the two people that are right under him chasing for the belt, and Big Show and Henry, neither of which I want to see as champion. But so, just having those guys around him, building up the Tyler Blacks, Seth Rollins of the world, the Dean Ambroses, the guys like that, to show that you can have that solid of a match, is incredible. I was thinking that could, the guys in the WWE main roster see that two guys like that in FCW are busting their ass that bad to get on the main roster, would have lit a fire under the roster a little bit, but it didn't. The next pay-per-view after that was, I believe, what was it? What's the October pay-per-view of the WWE? Was it Vengeance? I don't even. Yeah, it was Vengeance. And that pay-per-view sucked. So, I just, when I saw this, it restored a lot of faith long term for the WWE, because, if you sign the right guys, you build them correctly, you can have new stars. I don't want to see Cena and Orton again. It's just guys like Christian. He is, yes, not a WWE built guy, but he restored something in Orton, just having fresh talent in the main event scene. And these two show that they can do that and have fresh matches. I've seen probably 200, if not a little bit, probably more matches combined between between the personas of Moxley, Ambrose, Rollins, and Black. And I've never seen anything unoriginal from them because they are just that good. If WWE can have guys like that more often, I'm not saying that in-ring and storytelling are everything. However, the pay-per-views that I've seen, even from WWE fans, the ones who can't tell me what those are, the ones that have better examples of that are the ones that do well. Look at Money in the Bank. Look at, WrestleMania 26. Look at what WrestleMania 27 did not have. I mean, I was at that show, and I found it to be such a huge spectacle, and I told my dad who was on the trip with that I was part of the show I was looking forward least to of the weekend of the 4 we were going to. Because yes, WrestleMania is more than a wrestling show, and it's more about having fun and showing off wrestling as we're not all bad, but in terms of just getting me excited for the card, didn't really have anything that appealing to me. But Ring of Honor both days had several matches that were appealing to me, and Dragon Gate looked phenomenal, and all 3 of those shows were great, amazing. But WrestleMania was just it was good. But then you look at a show like Money in the Bank, and it's show of the year, there's stuff like that. Hopefully you guys get my point. Leave comments on this. I want to see you guys' opinions on this. Actually, make video responses. I really want to see you guys' opinions because this match itself restored a lot of faith for me. Is there something that you want to see or something like that? I just hope that these two can tear it up like Punk has done, like Danielson has done. It's not that I favor them in this company because they came from the indie scene. It's because their work is more determined in this company than I've seen from any worker that, in general. That's the reason I'm getting into Zack Ryder. He's gotten himself over. He's good. Ziggler is doing phenomenal. And he's not a huge indie guy. Look at Kenny Dykstra. He sucks. Fuck him. Johnny Jeter, he had potential, but he's gone. Ziggler's the one from the Spirit Squad that has progressed. I'm a huge fan of him now. Henry has done much better than he's done in recent years, but, that's why, but he's still, iffy to me. That's why I don't like The Miz, and R-Truth is just okay, Just guys like that, the guys that put in the work deserve to be at the top of the company. And that's true, and that's why I think a company like Ring of Honor, you can say what they say about the recent slump a little bit, but they know how to build stars, they know how to book storylines, and they have an in-ring product that is marketable. And that has been consistent across their history of almost 10 years now. Something that WWE has not been consistent with in the past 10 years. So, all right, give me your opinions on this video, and I will see you guys later. Bye.